So in this question we've got a bar chart which shows information about what a shop sells exactly, whether it's online or sold in the shop in 2008, 2009, 2010, and we've got this empty 2011. So it's going to ask us to fill in the bar for 2011. Now, before we do that and complete all the sections of this question, let's just have a look at the examiner's remarks. They say that in part A, a significant number of students failed to realise that the bar chart required the percentage of sales as opposed to the number. So it needed a percentage, not the number of sales. Okay? A minority calculated the correct percentages, but then they failed to represent them correctly on the chart. So we'll have a look at that. Part B was a good discriminator, and I think what they mean there is it sorted out people who really understood ratio and who didn't. Common incorrect answers were 4 to 1 and 4 to 5. Many students knew the required ratio was 20 to 80, so that's good, but they couldn't simplify it, so they often gave 2 to 8 as the final answer, and so they lost a mark for that. In part C, we've got no examiner's remarks because this is something I've just added at the end to just extend this question a little and give us a bit more practice. Okay, so let's now try and work through this question. A, the table shows sales for 2011. Okay, so 2011 is our blank area here, hasn't been filled in yet, but here's the data here. So sales, online sales are 152 and shop sales are 48, and so the total comes to 200. And so we've got to show information for the 2011 sales on the chart. Well, if the total number of sales was 200, then all we need to do to get the correct percentage, instead of trying to put 152 on the chart, we need to divide by 2. If it's out of 200, we can simply divide by 2. So if we divide 152 by 2, we get, well, 2 into 15 goes 7, and then we just carry the remainder of 1 to get 2 into 12 gives us 6. Okay, so just as a check, 76 add 76 makes 152. So that's halved the online sales. Now the shop sales, well, that's much easier. So 2 into 48 goes 24. And now our total has been divided to give us our 100%. So we've got to show the information now on the sales chart. So we'll just put the percentage signs in there. Okay, so we've got 100% is obviously at the top here. So let's just make sure we made a mark here. And we're going to take it, well, we've got to have the bars equally apart. So we've got to start here, and they are 5 little squares apart, so going up like that. Okay, so the top of the bar should end here. Let's just rub this out then. Oops. Let's rub this out. Okay. And in fact, what I'm going to do, I think, is speed this up. Let's see. It should be okay. Speed this up so that I don't have to, so that the video doesn't become too long. But obviously, if I just make sure the top of the bar goes there, then I'm nearly there. I just need my halfway point, well, not halfway, but 76 along. I've got shop sales only of 24. You can see the shop sales are going up. Are going down rather, and the online sales are going up from 2008 to 2011. So I've got 24. Well, each one of these squares, because we've got 5 squares from 0 to 10 here, so each one of these squares must be 2. So 24 is going to be here. Okay, so 24 is there, and just using a ruler now to make sure I get this exactly in the right place. That's where I'm going to do my cutoff. Okay, so let's speed this up now and draw. It won't be a very neat drawing, but good enough to get marks. Draw the information on the chart then. Okay, so there we've got our drawing. We've got our 24% shop sales and our 76, so 76 add 24 gives us our 100%, so our 76% of online sales is represented here. So that bit of the question is completed. Now, part B, work out the ratio of online sales to shop sales for 2008. So the key thing here is we've got to work out a ratio. So we've got to understand ratios. Give your answer in its simplest form. So the ratio of online to shop sales for this bar here, 2008. So let's start by drawing our figures from the chart. So we've got 80. So we've got online to shop. So in fact, let's start with this figure here. So that's going to be 100 minus 80, so that's 20. So we've got 20, 2, represented by a colon, 80. Okay, and this is the bit that people got wrong. They didn't understand how to simplify. To simplify, you have to get it down to, because it's got to be in its simplest form, you've got to get it right down to, so if we divide by 4, so if we divide by, whoops, let's make that a bit nicer. Divide by 4, sorry, not divide by 4, divide by 20, and divide this by 20, then we'll end up with 20 divided by 20 is what we can put it straight in here, 1, and 80 divided by 20 is 4. So yes, it's 2 to 8, but that's if we divide by 10, which will be crossing off these zeros, but if we divide by 20, then you're going to get, straight away, you're going to get straight to the 1 to 4 answer. Okay, so answer is 1 to 4. Now, part C, we're asked to find the fraction of online sales for 2009. So this time we're looking at these sales here in 2009. So the fraction is going to be rather different to the ratio, and that's why I added this question here. Fractions and ratios tend to be different. A fraction is a ratio, but it's a part to whole ratio, whereas most ratios are part to part. Now, if this was part to part, what have we got? We've got 60 and 3 of these little, so 66, so 66 to here, so that would be 66. If we write that on, it'd be nice and clear. 66 there, and therefore this must be 34. Okay, so let's write it here, otherwise we won't be able to see it very clearly. So the online sales are 34. So yeah, the ratio, the 2009 ratio would be 34 to 66, which we would simplify then to, now what would divide into, well, definitely 2, so we can get that straight down to 17 to 33, and that's as far as we can get. It's a bit messy, let's just tidy this up a little bit. Okay, so that's our ratio, but it doesn't ask us for a ratio, it asks us for a fraction. And so the fraction of online sales is the number of online sales, so the numerator is going to stay the same as this, so it's going to be 17. So if we start with our 30, let's give them the answer and then simplify. So if we start with our numerator of 34, then because this is a part to whole ratio, because it's a fraction, then it's not 66, it's going to be 100, because the whole is obviously 100%. Okay, and again we can halve this, so that would be 17 again to 50, and so because that can't be simplified, there's no common factor of 17 and 50, our answer is going to be 17/50. Okay, so that's the fraction. The percentage is 34%. Okay.